Crypto Kids, welcome back to another live show. Today we're going to be jumping into the price action for Bitcoin because Bitcoin is actually seeing a breakout from this anticipated bull flag that we were having and this triangle. So it's looking amazing for Bitcoin. We're also breaking out of this double bottoms neckline. So today I'm going to be going through a bunch of technical analysis, going to be discussing, hold on. Okay, so the audio is good. I was just checking the audio, but that's perfect. But guys, if you can leave a like and let me know in the comment section which altcoins that you would like for me to have a look at, I will do during the stream. But ladies and gents, we're going to jump into a lot of stuff like I was explaining. We're going to go into the Bitcoin price action if I expect the Bitcoin price to continue going further up, and what are the potential next entries for Bitcoin looking at my technical analysis. But ladies and gents, it's going to be an absolutely wonderful stream. We're going to be discussing this Bitcoin bull flag. We're going to be going into this double bottom configuration. We're going to be going to this ascending broadening wedge, which is actually very important. Now, this pattern is pretty bullish, and we were looking at the support line for a potential entry, and it may have been invalidated. So I may go with the scenario that I continue adding to this long position that I have. But again, stay tuned for that and much more. We're also going to be discussing this golden cross on Bitcoin on the weekly time frame and which scenarios I believe will be possible for Bitcoin coming up towards the ETF approvals if I think we can hit 47, 48K, or if we will see a crash towards the downside to the 31K area, like Bitcoin likes to do in its massive uprun. So we're going to be going through a bunch of stuff. Also, the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin, is breaking out of the accumulation zone right now. So what this means is alt season is about to start. The Bollinger Bands have been squeezing on the multi-time frame, which is something super bullish if we break towards the upside, which we're doing right now. And altcoins can see massive rallies. And finally, ladies and gents, I'm going to be ending off the stream playing some Medieval Empires because it is a game that I honestly love playing, and it's super awesome. It's super addicting, and it's one of those 100x altcoins that I believe can do very well in the GameFi space. But ladies and gents, if you can destroy that like button, it would be very much appreciated. We are at, I believe, 136 viewers, so if you can share this with your friends, let's get this stream to everyone out there. And ladies and gents, without further ado, let's jump straight into the Bitcoin price action and see what's going on the technical analysis perspective. And I'm seeing your comments about your altcoins, so I will go ahead and do some TA on them very shortly. Carl loves me, so do I. Actually, oh thanks, man. You love me? Beautiful. That's awesome. Bromance. But no, he's talking about Medieval Empires, and I will get to that in just a second. And ladies and gents, Tyler, man, you are an OG on this channel, and yes, we are about to hit 30,000 subscribers. I personally have a goal of hitting 30,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so the 31st of December, which is in about 11 days. It would be amazing to get to 30K subscribers. Guys, I started this 2 years ago, and if you go back to my first video on my channel, it's very embarrassing because it was just me screen recording on my iPad doing some technical analysis, but in just 2 years, it's crazy where we've come to. I mean, I've done things that people have said were impossible, met people that people, again, have said impossible were to do. My age has been a barrier for such a long time, but it's super awesome to have overcome that and achieved what I've done so far, and can't wait to do more with you guys. So thank you to each and every one of you, my loyal subscribers, whoever watches the videos. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. You guys are absolutely amazing. And if you haven't subscribed already, let's subscribe. Let's get this channel to 30K subs. That would be crazy. But guys, I know you're itching to know about what is happening with Bitcoin. Well, currently this position that we opened at the bottom of this triangle, because it was very important line of support, is in about 84% profits, which is not bad at all. I just wish I added some more margin to it, but it is what it is. I dollar cost averaged into it at an entry price of $41,734, which is amazing. And now we're seeing the big break up that we were anticipating on the previous video. So by the way, Crypto Kids, massive congrats if you also ended up opening this trade. Massive congrats. And if you are looking for a place to trade, then you can go ahead to the comments below and sign up to BitFlex. It takes about 20 seconds to sign up, and you can get up to $68,888 worth in prizes. And the way you do that is by going to activity. So if I switch to BitFlex, you go to activity, then you go to the reward sub, and you can claim all your prizes. And it could be a nice Christmas gift if you've been trading very nicely. So let's go ahead and break down what I think is going to happen. So the first thing is first, right? Bitcoin is at a very crucial level of resistance. And if I can zoom out, there we go. So Bitcoin is at a very crucial level of resistance because we're at the prior swing highs. Now this line is going to be very, it's going to be a struggle to get above, right? I know the target for the double bottom, which I'll also get to in a second, is at $46,200. However, we do need to be mindful the area where we're at for Bitcoin, the $44,200, the $44,300 is going to be a very, very tough place to get over because it's where we've created our previous swing high. So if we manage to get over there, if we manage to flip that resistance into support, then I believe Bitcoin can go ahead and break to $46,200, which is the target of this double bottom formation, right? So 46.2 would be the target. And it would be amazing to get to that point because that is where my take profit is set for this current trade, which is amazing, right? So actually it's set at $47,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly change that so that we take profit at 46,200. I'm not going to do a round number because I don't like round numbers. So I'm going to go 200 and well, that's also kind of a round number, but we'd be making $1,100 with a take profit at 46,200. Not too shabby. Press confirm and boom, we've adjusted our stop loss and currently we're in 600 USDT profits with just $1,000 worth of margin. So again, congrats if you decided to take this trade. But as I said, Bitcoin is now facing very critical resistance. I would be personally taking some partial profits here. I'm going to leave my personal trade because it is such a low margin trade. But if you did decide to take this position, then it may be a good idea to take some profits now because we have reached some very important level of resistance. Of course, nothing in this video is financial advice whatsoever, but it may be a good idea to look into taking some profits at this key level of resistance. So the question that I think everybody has now is, if I didn't enter this trade, then where is it possible to go ahead and enter? That is a very, very valid question. If I go into my active orders, I have a couple of orders for Bitcoin, which some may never end up filling, but that's okay. Just in case it's Bitcoin, we're ready. So just in case Bitcoin comes down to 31, 34, 36, 37, 39, we have some buy orders coming up. And let me explain them to you one by one. So let's switch on to my trading view and I can show you what I exactly mean. Now jumping into trading view, I have prepared a couple of charts. So this one is the current chart that we have discussing the current position that we have open at the moment. And going into the other charts, we can see the Bitcoin bull flag, which has a target, in my opinion, of $47,000 to $48,000 due to the lines of resistance and support. And finally, we have a couple of different charts. So this one is the ascending broadening wedge. Now, if you can see here, this line of support we've been holding for Bitcoin since October the 24th. Now, since October 24th, Bitcoin has been beautifully holding this line of support. As you can see, we have many retests that caused a bounce towards the upside for us to eventually hit $44,700. Now, if in any instance Bitcoin decides to reverse here and touch this line of support, it may be a good entry for a long position. Because what we can see here is that on the daily time frame, now that Bitcoin is finding resistance at this level, it is possible that we form a double top formation. And now I just want to take, I want to close this position now in profits. Should I do it? Let me know in the chat section if you think that I should close the trade in profits, because I kind of feel like doing so because this is a very critical line of resistance that Bitcoin can face and then see a drawdown back to this line of support, and at which point you could potentially open a limit long position order going in at maybe $38,000 and $880 depending on when Bitcoin or if Bitcoin decides to see a reversal. And this could be something that you would be willing to open potentially with a target of 48K or 47K to be a bit more conservative. And let's say you were to put a stop loss, let's say here, that would give you a nice 1 to 3.67 risk to reward trade. And unleveraged, you would make around 20.64%, which is not bad whatsoever. But in terms of leverage, maybe I wouldn't put too much leverage into this just because the stop loss is 5.6%. And if you put a lot of leverage, then it may not work out well. And I do have this limit order over on BitFlex myself personally, because I think that it's going to be very, very crucial level of support if Bitcoin ever decides to reverse to that 38K level. Ladies and gents, Bitcoin is exactly touching this level of resistance. And once again, I'm very, very tempted because we're 92% profits. And I do want to take profits on this trade. So maybe I do a partial take profit, okay? So I'm going to do a market and I'm going to do a partial take profit. So I'm going to take profit like 20%. So if I retract this, this slider and let's do 25% profits, I think that's fair. So let's press, or you know what, let's do 25%. So if I press confirm, then ladies and gents, you can see that our realized P&L is now in 148 USDT, which is awesome, right? And if we look at our stop loss, even if Bitcoin decides to reverse from here, we will still close this trade in profit. So I think that was a good move. Of course, I wish this had more margin. It would have been amazing, but it is what it is. We'll save that for next time. And this is, by the way, $10,000 trading challenge. So this account started off with around 10K and just under 10K. And now we're planning on growing this account to as much as possible. And we just took profit, and taking profit, right? This goes to show that there's nothing wrong with taking profit whatsoever now that we've hit crucial resistance, because as traders, we don't have a crystal ball where we can see the exact tops or the exact bottoms. It's just not possible. As traders, our aim and mission is to make money. And if we do that, well, that's about it. So I know a lot of people are asking about altcoins. Maybe I should go into some altcoins. I think Ethereum is very popular. HBAR is popular. Uniswap, Gala. Maybe you should go into those, right? So let me cover some of the news from this morning, and then I will immediately get into your altcoins. You can keep on messaging which altcoins you want me to do some technical analysis on, and I will get to it as soon as I go through some of the latest news updates. So what was happening today? Well, not much other than me blowing at the candles to make sure they go up. So my mentor is Tone Bates, right? And he has a risk management class that hopefully I will make my own risk management class, because risk management is more important than TA itself, right? It's when you measure where you should put your stop loss, where you should put your take profit. It's arguably a more important skill to have than the TA, because I have a lot of friends that got, 6 trades, 7 trades, 8 trades correct in a row, but because they weren't risk managed properly, what happened was they ended up losing everything on the 9th trade. And this is something that's very common. I mean, it's a common mistake. Even if you're the best technical analyst in the world, without risk management, you can fall into this trap. And this is just a funny joke that I wanted to replicate of blowing up the candles, because once you blow the candles, it's usually not a good sign. If you're praying or if you're blowing the candles, if you find yourself blowing the candles on the chart, then it's not a good sign. It means that you've probably risked too much money into your trade, or you're over leveraged. So that should never be the scenario, right? In terms of risk management. You should always never risk, right? Of course, nothing in this video is financial advice once again, but it's never a good idea to risk more money than you're not okay with losing, right? So whatever money you risk, it should be money that, all right, in your mind, if it's gone, it's gone. It's not going to financially impact me. But ladies and gents, going back over into the news, and I will check your comments in just a second. What happened was all the ETF issuers are discussing with the SEC making new amendments to their launch of their ETF, like for example, ARK Invest, that's first in line to be approved, hopefully on January the 10th. If they're approved, it's going to be amazing. So they're discussing. Unfortunately, the Grayscale Ethereum Trust ETF got delayed again, but eventually it's going to be approved. So no need to worry about these things at all. They will all eventually be approved, because it's like delaying the inevitable. And I know in a previous video I said that, I have this feeling that something is going to go wrong, and I still do, right? I still feel like that there's going to be something that's going to be messed up, and I don't want to jinx it, but it just, everybody's saying that the ETFs are going to happen. There's this massive expectation. It kind of feels like the stock market. So just to illustrate what I mean, if I go over to the S&P 500, we can see that in the S&P 500, we've been seeing a massive rally towards the upside. So if I just jump into the S&P, you can see that just after the Fed interest rate announcement, because it was a dovish conference, right? Everybody's been speculating onto the stock market. Everybody's saying that, the interest rates are going to drop like insane next year, so we must FOMO in. But, the reality is that really the situation, or is it a form of market manipulation? That's the real question. And by the way, I'm not a stock trader. I'm not a traditional investor. However, we did talk about the S&P like a lot of videos ago. It's been many, many weeks actually, but I did discuss that this support would be very crucial and that the S&P 500 could potentially bounce towards the upside. So I don't know if you've watched that video and traded the S&P, then wow, you've done some pretty good gains. But we're having an MRI warning sign here. So what the MRI is, again, from my OG mentor, Tone Vase, it's his version of the TD sequential, and it's an indicator that analyzes trend and trend reversal. Now, just in summary, we're at the 8th candle of a 9-candle trend, and next candle will be the top for the MRI, and it could indicate a reversal towards the downside, especially after such a massive bullish candle move. We can see it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 candles towards the upside. It's crazy. I mean, it's even crazier than the Bitcoin weekly increase. And, I've discussed that there could be 2 scenarios for Bitcoin, right? One is that we can see a consolidation here at this $40,000 range. We can consolidate, then hit $47,000, right? Coming up in the next 20 days or 19 days, followed by the Bitcoin spot ETF approvals. And if we see a wick towards the upside, then we can see a crash either towards $36,000 or more favorably $31,000. Now you're probably asking why more favorably a lower move. Well, look, $31,000 is so important for Bitcoin's price history. If we reverse towards the 31K level before the halving, it would be sensational because it would be such a healthy correction. If Bitcoin found support here, it's going to give the momentum for us to pump into new all-time highs. That's how crucial $31,000 is. And also, $36,000 is not bad at all too. Because if we look here, this was massive support generated from the previous cycle. And if Bitcoin bounces to 36K, I think it will still give enough momentum to Bitcoin to continue pumping towards the upside. And while talking about the 36.2K level, let's say, I'm just going to quickly jump onto BitFlex and see if I have a limit long position, because if Bitcoin decides to drop there, I think it would be an interesting place to open a long. So I have at 31, 34, 36. For now, I'm going to cancel these bottom two at 37.8 and 39, because if Bitcoin does see a reversal, I'll probably input these manually. But I'll also end up canceling my 36 because I want to adjust that to $36,200 as the place where we would go long. So I'm going to cancel 36, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a limit long position if Bitcoin reverses to $36,200, just like we discussed, would be very, very good support. And in terms of USDT value, I think for now I'll put like 600. And if Bitcoin reverses to that level, I will see what's happening, what's the current market sentiment, and if we could see a lower move towards the upside. So I'm going to press open long. It's super easy to do. All you got to do is go to limit. You put your order price in. You put the amount that you want to trade with, and I'm going to press open long and press confirm. And voila, that should be set. So over here, we can see that hopefully if Bitcoin, well, not hopefully, unpreferably, but if Bitcoin does decide to fall to $36,000, then we would be opening a long position with 0.245 Bitcoin. And again, if you are looking for some place to trade, ladies and gents, you can go to the description of this live stream, use this link to get up to $68,888 worth in prizes over on BitFlex. It takes 20 seconds to sign up, so go ahead and give it a shot. But ladies and gents, I think it's time to actually get into the news because I kind of got distracted over there. So what was happening is, everybody's discussing with the SEC to make final adjustments to their ETF proposal and finally set it to the market. And as a matter of fact, this morning, which we also talked about on the morning's video, Michael Saylor was discussing why the ETFs are so important, and it really gives you a massive perspective. So just to summarize what he mentioned over here, because he talks on for a while, the most important thing that he mentioned on the video was that talking about supply and demand. So the basic thing is, right, during this cycle, so in this current halving cycle, the amount of Bitcoin exposed to the market is about 900 Bitcoin per day. So new Bitcoin that is generated from miners, it's given to the open market to be sold. So that's 900 Bitcoin per day. Now, naturally, after the halving, this amount of available Bitcoin to the market is going to be cut drastically. And if we look at fundamental economics, when supply cuts and demand increases, right, or stays the same, the price of the asset should continue going towards the upside. That's basic economics. Now, especially with the ETF providers buying up Bitcoin, with institutional clients hopefully buying spot Bitcoin, then what this means, ladies and gents, is that the price of Bitcoin, just based off economics and mathematics, should rally towards the upside. That is why, if we jump back into TradingView, we can give the assumption that Bitcoin going towards the ETF will probably see a lot of hype, because this is what Bitcoin does, right? So what Bitcoin does is whenever there is a significant bullish news or bearish news, people FOMO in, right? They either FOMO long or FOMO short Bitcoin. Once the ETF is actually approved, I still think, even though Bitcoin has been pumping and dumping for the past 6-7 months from the exact same news, I think Bitcoin can wick at least to $47,000, which is where we'll be taking profit on our current long position. And then, ladies and gents, see a major correction either towards $36,000 or $31,000. That's what I personally think, right? Why am I expecting these dumps? Because it's normal. After massive moves towards the upside, Bitcoin does these things. We just have these drops, and it's completely healthy. Like, for example, we had a huge run up back in 2020. We started at like $10,000. Bitcoin rallied to $42,000, saw a 300% increase towards the upside. But then, ladies and gents, what we did was we saw a, wow, okay, that's annoying. But if we go to that and get rid of this and get my ruler tool again, we can see that Bitcoin saw a drop of about 30.7%. 30.7% after a 300% rally. That's like nothing. And after seeing that 30% drop, Bitcoin even continued further to rally another 106%. So ladies and gents, these things are normal. Even if we compare it with something a bit of a magnitude that's similar to what the pump that we have right now, we can compare this directly to the pump that we saw in July of 2021, right? So in July of 2021, Bitcoin increased by 65%. And it's comparable because if we have a look at the price right now, Bitcoin has rallied ever since the breakout by 42.69%. Now, we saw a drop after we rallied that amount by 25%. So if we put it into picture, maybe Bitcoin can drop 18 to 20%, right? If we just compare the magnitudes. Of course, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but if we compare the magnitudes, I think 36K is very, very doable, right? I think a drop to 36K is very, very doable if we reverse from here. If we reverse from $47,000, right, I think maybe we drop to the price, maybe we drop to $40,000, right? But that's why it's very, very important to make sure that we are risk managing and entering our bullish hedge long positions properly, right? It is very important to do that, because if Bitcoin decides to skyrocket, not see that reversal that we're expecting, then it will be a missed opportunity. And now that the trend is bullish, I don't like to open short trades. So you've probably realized that I'm not opening short trades at the moment. All I'm doing is either putting limit long positions to buy Bitcoin cheaper, or I'm already in a long position. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. And if Bitcoin continues to rally, I will add more margin here. But if Bitcoin decides to see a drop towards the downside and find good support, like we already just opened at $36,200, we'll be longing Bitcoin. And if we hold that support with a nice reversal candle, I will make this a 1 Bitcoin position over on BitFlex. So that is absolutely fantastic. And guys, if you just joined, it would be amazing if you haven't already subscribed to subscribe to the channel. We're at 29,066 subscribers. My mission by the end of this year, so in about 11 days, is to hit 30,000 subscribers. And guys, I started this journey when I was 12 years old, started making content 2 years ago, and really it would mean the world to me if we reach 30K subs by the end of 2023. But guys, make sure to smash up the like button also. I think we can hit 100 likes. We're currently at 89 likes and 278 viewers. I think the ratio would make sense if we can reach 100 likes. So guys, smash up that like button. It would be very, very much appreciated. But ladies and gents, now on to what you've been expecting this entire stream. Let's go into some of your altcoins, right? So first thing that I'm going to start off with is Ethereum, because I saw Ethereum in the chat section, and it's something that I want to have a look at myself too. So let's go to Ethereum, or should we go into Doge while we have the chart on already? That's a bit of a dilemma. I think I'll go into Dogecoin, because why not? We already have the chart. It's going to take like 2 minutes maximum, and then we'll switch on to Ethereum, and then we'll go into Salana, and then I saw Illuvium, which is a gaming coin, so I will go into Illuvium as well, and maybe we go into XRP. So those are the tokens, coins that we'll be looking into for the current half an hour at least, and then we'll see what more we can do. Okay, so Dogecoin, as you guys know, if you are a veteran in the channel, for the past 6-7 months, I've been saying that I'm bullish on Dogecoin and that I'm accumulating Dogecoin on a weekly to daily basis because I'm incredibly bullish on it. I mean, if you were to ask me one altcoin other than GameFi projects, which coin are you holding or token are you holding? I'll be saying Dogecoin because it's a fork of Bitcoin, if I'm not wrong, right? It's a fork of Bitcoin. We were forming this massive bullish pennant, like insane bullish pennant. And around here, I started talking about it. And since the breakout, Dogecoin is broken by 42% towards the upside. So to all of those Doge holders, massive, massive congratulations. Even if you longed Dogecoin with leverage here, you would have probably made hundreds of percents in profit. So again, massive, massive congrats to the Crypto Kids army, but I don't leverage trade altcoins. I think they're too volatile and too risky. So instead what I do is if there is an altcoin that I really believe in, I just accumulate it from spot. And that's what I've been doing for the past couple of months here. And I think Doge can do very, very well going up into the next bull market. But now going on to Ethereum, because Ethereum was one of the suggestions in the comment section. Let's have a look at Ethereum. What is Ethereum doing? Well, let's delete everything that we have. Let's have a fresh chart. Let's see what's going on. Well, clearly over here we can see two perfect lines of support and resistance. So if we draw the line of support first, we can go like that. And if we draw the line of resistance, boom. Okay. Now, first impressions. It's not looking too good for Ethereum, unless we end up breaking towards the upside. So just to go back a little bit into the previous bull market, Ethereum had a beautiful head and shoulders pattern. Now, after we broke from the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern, we reversed by approximately, wow, we fell by 56%. And I think that was very tradable. So if I was making videos back then, I probably would have mentioned that Ethereum is forming this head and shoulders pattern, and we could have opened a short position right towards the downside to trade it because it was such a textbook head and shoulders pattern, as you can see, but it is what it is. But if we focus on what we have right now, we're kind of seeing a bear flag. Now, I don't want to call it a bear flag as such because yeah, usually these end up breaking down, but I just don't think with the current market sentiment, that's what's going to happen. However, it is probably possible that we can reverse maybe, right, if we see a rejection to $1,766, but I don't see Ethereum going any lower than that. I just don't see it. So what we need to be on the lookout for is if Ethereum breaks out from this line of resistance at $2,400, I think we can see Ethereum trading back again at around, let's see, this line is incredible resistance. We can see Ethereum easily at $2,500 in my opinion. I know that's not a significant target. But I just think that, you know, with these altcoins, even if you have very small trades, you can make a lot of money from them. It's not like Bitcoin, and it's good to be conservative. So if Ethereum broke out here, you would still be making like 5.35%, and with leverage, you can do even more. So I don't think it's too bad. And like I say, I'm more of a swing trader. Altcoins trading, it's not my jam. I like to spot hold Ethereum or any other altcoins because it's much less risky. But in terms of an Ethereum trade, that could be one. But honestly, I don't see anything very clear here. I'll just be on the sidelines watching what we can go into next. Now, let's go into Salana, because I've heard that Salana is absolutely exploding in price. And it's something that, God, you know, I just wish I bought lower. So over here, it's kind of the same deal. We saw a massive decline towards the downside, and we hit a low of $8 for Salana. Now, I know I was there. When Salana hit $8, I was there. But it's just the situation that, you know, when prices drop, you always expect higher drops towards the downside. This was when the FTX situation happened. You know, when FTX had a lot of holdings in Salana, I believe they already still do, and that they were going to dump Salana. So Salana crashed all the way to $8. But you know, it's always good to look at projects. It's always very good to look at projects to see if they're overvalued or undervalued. Like you see Salana. a project like Salana, it's at $8. Like clearly that is such an undervalued project. Now, if I quickly jump to Coin Market Cap, so I'm going to go to Coin Market Cap here and give you some live examples. Let's go into Coin Market Cap. Now, going to Coin Market Cap, we can look at some of the altcoins available. Like, look at that. Solana is up a crazy amount. And I know this is happening because of the meme coins mostly. So meme coins based off of the Solana blockchain have been exploding like crazy. And that's pretty much reflecting on the price of Solana too. So we've done a 10x, right? Before a full-fledged bull market, Solana has done a 10x. And just to put that into perspective, Solana is one of the top altcoins out there. One of the top highest market cap altcoins. It's in the top 5 currently, and we've seen a 10x on a blue chip like Solana. Now, this is giving us the indication that before a full-fledged market, if we're seeing big, blue chips do such amounts of gains, then imagine all of these lower cap projects that can go 100x, right? So this is a very good indication. And I was showing you my chart earlier on in the stream. Let me show it again for those of you that just joined. We can jump into TradingView. And if we go and look at the total market cap of cryptocurrencies, excluding Bitcoin, so this covers all altcoins, we are breaking out of this accumulation zone. And once all of the altcoins break out of this accumulation zone, we're going to see the altcoin bull run, right? We're going to see it. The Bollinger Bands are squeezing. All we got to do is confirm a breakout from here. And I think we can head back to the 1.1 trillion altcoin market cap. And that's when we catch. That's when we catch the top altcoins to make 100x. And that season is coming. For the past couple of months, we've not been seeing the season. But ladies and gents, starting from now onwards, we're going to see a lot of 100x altcoins. And on this channel, on the CryptoKid channel, I'm going to be covering a lot of them because it started. I'm going to be dropping a lot of altcoin videos very soon. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already and turn on the notification bell to not miss any of those. And ladies and gents, I think we went up by almost 10 subscribers now ever since the start of the stream. So that is very much appreciated. Let's see if we can get the subscriber count to 29.1K today. And then we're only 900 subscribers away. So basically, we would have to get 90 subscribers every single day to hit our 30K subscriber target. And honestly, I think it's super achievable because the CryptoKid army is amazing and I think we can accomplish it. Now, going back onto Bitcoin, because I just want to have a look at it very quickly for all of those guys that are just tuning in. So Bitcoin broke out of this massive triangle. We also broke out of all of the bull flags that we were talking about. And we're currently hitting some very important line of resistance, right? And Bitcoin, it's possible that Bitcoin sees a rejection from here, right? We've already broken out. It's super bullish. Amazing. We have a target of $46,200 from this double bottom. But because we've hit such a critical line of resistance, which is over here, so we've hit the prior swing highs. So that's what I did to take a precautionary measure for this was take some profits off of my current long position, which I just wish that I had more into. I wish I put some more capital, but again, it is a 10K account. And as traders, we need to risk manage well and don't go all in into trades because if one of them goes wrong, then it's not great. I'll do a video on risk management and what I personally do. It's going to be a very, very crucial one. Now, let's go into some more of the altcoins. I think we've seen Illuvium, right? Illuvium was in the chat. And where Illuvium comes from is from the gaming space. Now, if we look at all of these gaming projects, oh my God, there's so much opportunity out there, like Sand, Mana. Even after these increases, I think they're pretty good projects, honestly. But if you were to ask me which projects would you invest into personally, I wouldn't have said any of those, right? Let's jump into Illuvium because people asked about it. Look at that. Illuvium already has a fully diluted market cap of $700 million and currently has a market cap of $350 million. So there is not much money to be made over here. In my opinion, yes, maybe it can go up by another $50 or yes, in the all-time highs, it was at $1,000 something, but I think that was so overvalued. Like, remember, I was talking about overvalued and undervalued, right? If a business that is making money, it's got games launching, it's doing well, it has a good revenue model, those are the projects that you should invest into, in my opinion. Of course, none of this is financial advice, just sharing what I personally do. But think of it this is a very good example, which I read in a book. Now, Amazon, when it first launched, near its first launching dates, so the stock market had a crash, right? But Amazon was doing amazing. They were doing sales, their business was up, but the stock market was crashing. Now, just because the stock is falling in price, that doesn't mean that the business is doing bad, right? So if a good business has profits, it's generating revenue, but the stock value, it's not just hitting its valuation, then that may be a good buy. So that's what you got to do. Crypto is the exact same thing. That's what I'm doing, right? Going into projects, finding if they have good business models, if they have users, can they generate a lot of money? Then I go into these projects and see if their market evaluations are proper and it's a good time to be potentially investing. And then I buy some of those projects. Like, in my opinion, Medieval Empires, it's so good. And really, this is because I actually love playing the game. I'm saying all of these things like truthfully out of my honest heart because it's such a good game, and I will show how it looks like in just a second. So make sure to watch a couple of more minutes. I'm going to get to it, and we just hit 0.01 for Medieval Empires. That's awesome. But we have a market cap of only $2.9 million compared to Illuvium, which fell by 99%. And Medieval Empires is looking pretty good, right? And looking at their game, I think they have a beautiful game. Fully diluted market cap is only $30 million. So this is a personal 100x buy for me. And it's just their game is already amazing. They're targeting the mobile users too. And their market audience is humongous, like humongous. They have a massive target audience because the actor or the story that's Medieval Empires is based around, it's old Turkish history. And there's a TV series called Ertuğrul. Now, maybe you don't know it, maybe you know it, but it has billions of streams over on Netflix. And there are people that are religiously watching the series and acting them out. Like, it's crazy. You will really be shocked. So I think because we have such a wide target audience for Medieval Empires, I think we can get a lot of users to play the game, and yeah, it's just looking pretty good. And you know what? I'll share some of the gameplay with you in just a second. So let me load up the game, and then I will switch to it. But now I'm gonna go through some of your comments because I'm gonna go through some more altcoins. Yeah, I think gaming is gonna be huge. I think that's gonna be the next narrative where we make, you know, the next billion users into crypto will funnel through GameFi. That's why I'm so bullish into it, because it helps the ecosystem. I mean, there's so many people that don't understand crypto overall, even people in crypto. It's just some stuff is super hard. And just as a normal gamer, you're already fond of technology, you already know about technology. And it's not going to be a massive shock if people go into crypto through gaming rather than people getting into crypto through the finance aspect of it. So I think that's the major difference, and that's why I'm very bullish on GameFi. But my game loaded up, so let me show you my land. Now this is my Medieval Empires land, and I've been grinding for the past like 6-7 months. So if you're not at this point yet, don't worry, that's normal. But this is the gameplay. Like, it's amazing. It's like Clash of Clans. It reminds you of Clash of Clans, and it's only in beta, which is really shocking. And you can already stake your tokens to become VIP. Like, it's just so much stuff you can do. The tokenomics, in my opinion, is amazing. And if I zoom out onto the broader land, this is the Crypto Kids land. And a lot of you have been leaving your UIDs in the descriptions below, interacting with my Twitter giveaways. So I've sent out invites to each and every one of you that have sent me your UID. So make sure to go to your game and check the in-game notifications so that you can see the invite. If you don't accept it within the next 24 hours, I will unfortunately have to remove you and invite new players. So make sure you go to the game and check out if you got a notification inviting you to my land. There we go. I can't talk. After half an hour of talking straight, now I lost my ability to talk, but that happens. It's okay. So currently, if you want to play the game, you can only buy land and start playing. Otherwise, actually stake your meat tokens to get land. Otherwise, you can't play. So if you want to try it out, make sure to go to the description below, leave me your UID, which is going to be over here. If you copy paste that into the comments, I will for sure see it and try and add you. But it's super fun. You can attack other people. You can attack, you know, different bots at the moment, but it's such a fun game to play overall, and I think their model is amazing. They have different lands, and it's going to be huge. But I'll leave it at that. You can go and explore for yourself. It's just that I'm super passionate about the game because I'm an early investor, and I think it has a lot of potential in the future. But always make sure to do your due diligence into all of these projects that I'm mentioning, or any projects that you come across by anyone, right? Don't just buy something because people tell you to buy it. Always go in, find out the business model, the target market, if it can grow, and then you can decide if it's a good investment or not. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? So it's the same thing with Bitcoin technical analysis. Now, Some of you have been requesting the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, and I will bring that up. And then after, I think, 5 minutes, we may end off the stream because I'm very tired and I have a math lesson to get to because I have a massive math test coming up next month. So I need to revise for that. But if I just bring up the liquidation heat map, just give me 2 seconds. I'm going to type that and we should have it on any minute. So it's on CoinGlass liquidation heat map. Perfect. And if I just bring it up on the stream, so if I go to symbol and we go there, perfect. So I have it on. Now let me share my screen. So if we go to the liquidation heat map, this is the 3-day. We got to zoom out a little bit because it's too micro. If we jump out and zoom back, if we zoom out into the 1 week, we can see that crucial liquidation levels were over here at $43,700. Now we knocked this level. Amazingly, we're trading above it. So we wiped out about at least $1 billion in liquidations have been happened, and I think we have a free range to continue going towards the upside. So this is very bullish. Whenever you liquidate positions, then you think of it as starting fresh, right? So I think Bitcoin now has liquidity up to $45,000 at least to continue seeing an increase. But after $45,000, like you can see over here, there is not much liquidity. And that's something to be careful of and also to be mindful of for a potential even bigger bullish breakout. And please stay with me here because I need to explain this to you. It's very important. So let me go into TradingView. I think I'll be able to explain better in TradingView. So if I scroll out onto the weekly time frame, right, get rid of all of my drawings, this should explain it well. So there's an indicator that I need to put on my chart, and it's called the VRVP. So if I search VRVP, it's going to give me the visible range volume profile. And if we zoom out onto the weekly time frame and just go in a little bit more closer to our current time zone in terms of the charts, right now, there's not a lot of liquidity already, right? So Bitcoin going higher without demand for people buying Bitcoin higher is going to be very complicated. A lot of the people buying want to buy Bitcoin at 23K, 24K, 29K, 30K. But above that, there's not much people wanting to actually buy Bitcoin. So if we jump into the daily chart, we can see in a bit more close up if people want to buy Bitcoin higher up, or let's go even into the monthly because then we can see the higher prices, or even into the weekly. You know what? I'm changing my mind all the time. Sorry. But on the weekly, we should be seeing the prices above 2 if the volume profile works properly. There we go. So going up, there's a lot less people actually demanding to buy Bitcoin. And the way that basic fundamental economics works is that if lower people demand to actually buy an asset, then you have an oversupply and the price drops. However, even if this situation looks like this currently, we shouldn't be fooled by it because look at it. We're going to have the ETFs very soon, and they're keeping on buying Bitcoin without making such a fuss about it. They're not announcing publicly that they're buying Bitcoin, but the end result is that they're buying and accumulating Bitcoin. Now, as institutions accumulate Bitcoin, as ETF providers accumulate Bitcoin, we're going to start seeing that volume show on our charts, and we're going to see massive buying pressure at some point, especially after the halving. That's the point that I see it in. And once this happens, a lot of people will want to be FOMOing into Bitcoin, accumulating the asset, and taking that to, in my opinion, the target for the next bull run or the current one that we're in right now, $90,000 to $95,000. To go further than $90,000 to $95,000, we need to see more countries and nations actually using Bitcoin as a secondary reserve currency or their actual reserve currency. And without seeing that global adoption, it's going to be very complicated for us to get above that because then we're just relying on institutional investors and retail investors. But we need to have governments actually in play adopting Bitcoin to go higher. But there has been some pretty bullish news very lately. And this bullish news is that there's hints that countries will now include Bitcoin in their national treasuries. So national treasuries currently include bonds, gold, silver, precious metals, etc. And if Bitcoin is incorporated into countries' national treasuries, then what happens is you see billions of dollars worth of buying pressure. And this buying pressure would be enough to catapult Bitcoin into hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that is what we need to be looking out for. But ladies and gents, that is pretty much it today. I'm probably going to go and drink some water and relax because I can't talk and I need to get ready for my math exam. But ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That would be very much appreciated because we're trying to hit 30,000 subscribers before the end of this year. And ladies and gents, we are almost at 29.1K. If we can go up by 10 subscribers before I end the stream, that would be fantastic. Then I would only need to get 90 subscribers per day to reach the target. But I'm sure that we can do it because the CryptoKid army is strong. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for watching the stream. Take care, everyone. Have a good night, good morning, wherever you are, whenever you are, like Da Vinci says it. But guys, take care, and I will see you on. I'll see you on the next video very soon. Take care, guys, and bye-bye.